So my name is Julie Nash, Stanford. I'm a PhD student with the GUND. I work with Salim Ali, and I'm looking at the diffusion of sustainability practices within the marine culture pearl industry. So I'm going to take you through what is a really tiny sliver of my overall research. You're welcome to talk to me at the end. Marine culture pearls have an incredible sustainability story. So they not only make great photographs, but they have an incredible sustainability story. We actually did research on the environment and found that places where marine culture pearls, the actual farms themselves, actually had increased fish biodiversity. So they're a positive impact on the coral reef environment in which they're in. From a social standpoint, they provide livelihoods and create sustainable development opportunities in small island communities. So given this incredible sustainability story, it's kind of surprising that sustainability initiatives such as eco-labels like fair trade have not actually taken off in the industry. So we were tasked with going out and talking to these farmers and figuring out what motivates the early adoption of eco-labeling. So I was forced to be able to go to the tropical islands of French Polynesia, Fiji, and many others to be able to ask them this question. What we found is that it was actually not institutional pressures, but it was actually their own individual view of their firm competitive advantage. And that was a major indicator of whether they were interested in the adoption of eco-labels. So I'll tell you a little bit about competitive advantage. This definitely comes from outside of the world in which we live in. It has more to do with the business world. But competitive advantage is really broken down into two elements. One are low-cost producers, and the other are differentiated producers. And what we found is that low-cost producers are not really interested in eco-labels, which makes a lot of sense. They don't see the revenue offset to the cost that it brings them. Differentiated producers who are more interesting. So we asked them, do you believe that your environmental practices are valuable? And this was a differentiator in terms of how they looked at eco-labels. We asked them about whether their practices were unique and rare and provided them with a unique competitive advantage. And this also differentiated them. We found that the firms that looked at their environmental practices as unique were not interested in eco-labels because they felt that it took away some of their competitive advantage. It made them less unique. And specialty products are all about your uniqueness. So what we did is we put this into a framework. What this allows you to do is look at how sustainable goods, how these different questions lead to eco-label adoption, and how the different policies can relate to this framework. So if a firm is a low-cost producer, there are different ways to drive sustainability. So you drive diffusion of sustainability through the overall value chain efforts. For those that do not believe that sustainable practices are really valuable, that will provide them with opportunities, you look for ways to drive the sustainability through providing tangible results. So showing them retail evidence and demonstrating consumer value of environmental practices. And for those firms that believe that environmental practices are unique resources for them, that they get competitive advantage off of them, you need to be able to drive the diffusion of sustainability through initiatives that allow these producers to communicate their unique practices. So what this all means is that there's no one-size-fits-all solution when you look at diffusion of sustainability within an industry. And if you have any questions, feel free to talk to me after.